It's time to get your plant questions answered live.
Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is with us today. Hi, Lise.
Hello. How are you guys?
Out in the patio. Good to see you.
The number to call is 270-9933.
Let's go to the phones. We'll start with Sherry from Lowell. Hi, Sherry.
Hi. I was wondering, I have eucalyptus and lavender, and I haven't had plants in years. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Okay. So I was wondering, the eucalyptus, I was told I can't put it in the ground. I have to leave it in pots. But what about the lavender? Can I plant that in the ground?
So eucalyptus is not hardy here, so you have to grow it in pots. And lavender, it depends on the kind of lavender that you have. If it's an English lavender and it's a variety like Hibiscus or Munstead, those are hardy here provided that you have them planted in a spot with really good drainage. The French lavenders, which have more flowers, tend not to be hardy here. And again, those are just for pots. So depends on the kind of lavender you have.
Okay, what about a Spanish lavender?
Spanish lavender is not one of the hardy ones here.
Okay, so keep it in the pots.
Yeah,
Keep it in
lavender
your
is
pots.
tough here.
Okay.
Let's go to Julie in Madison. Hi, Julie. What's your question?
Hi, I am asking you for my neighbor. I'm trying to help him out with a hibiscus plant. It's a tropical one that this is his third summer having it out on his deck, and it will not flower. So I gave him some fertilizer, and I said, I think maybe you need more of it to make it bloom and all. So he's tried that. We got a couple of blooms, and that's it. And so a lot of yellow leaves, and I just wondered if it needs repotting or what's going on with it. It's 3 years old, and he always overwinters it inside.
If it's 3 years old and it's in the same pot, it probably does need to be up-potted, and he would want to do that pretty quickly. Plants don't like being repotted as the length of the days sort of winds down. Hibiscus to flower need a ton of sunlight, so he wants to make sure that it's in a really sunny spot. And if he's fertilizing, he's going to want to fertilize with a fertilizer that is made for blooming plants. Right. So there are the three numbers. There's nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. And he wants that first number, which is nitrogen, to be lower than the other two. The middle number is the flowering number, and the third number is about root development. So make sure that whatever fertilizer he's using is a bloom booster. That will help do some flower buds.
All right, let's go to Diane.
You're a very good neighbor.
Very nice of her. Let's go to Diane in Madison. Hi, Diane.
Hello. My question was, now that the daylilies are through blooming, when can I cut off the leaves and the stem?
So now that daylilies are done flowering, you're gonna want to take back the flower stalks. So that tall, skinny thing where they're starting to maybe develop some seed heads, take those off to the bottom. As far as the plants themselves are concerned, it's a little early to take those, to cut back the plants. I would wait till the middle part of September when the temperatures start to cool and you see the leaves start to turn yellow. Then you can cut those back. But I'd leave them for now. Those leaves are doing the job of putting in energy to the plant's root system for flowers next year.
Okay, let's go to Jan in Reeseville. Hi, Jan. What's your question?
My husband plants tomato plants every year. We live in an apartment, and he plants them in these big flower pots that you get like trees in when you go to a nursery.
Sure.
And he has one plant that the tomatoes are nice and big on there, and they're ripening, but they get rotten in the bottom.
Sure. That's called blossom end rot. And it's usually a sign of a deficiency in calcium, which happens a lot with potting soil because there's not a lot of nutritional value in potting soil. So you can certainly get some fertilizer that contains calcium. There are lots of them that are used for tomatoes, like there's Tomato Tone by Espoma and some other ones. The other thing that sort of triggers blossom end rot when things are planted in pots is uneven watering. So he's going to want to make sure that he checks them every day, and if the top inch or two of soil is dry, he's going to want to water them because that will exacerbate the blossom end rot.
Okay, we have time for one more call. Let's go to Earl in Mount Horeb. Hi, Earl.
Hi. Yes, I've got a question about the raspberries. They're now 3 years old and in their third season, and they blossom a little bit yet, but a lot of foliage. Very, very few berries showed up on our patch, and patch is approximately about a 4 foot by 10 foot one. And so wondering what could we do? Or was it a bee problem this year, or is there fertilizer? There's a lot of foliage, but not many berries.
So when they do fruit, do they fruit in July or later, like later in August?
July they did flower. June, July they did flower some.
Okay.
But not a lot. A lot of stem.
Okay.
Lot of
So
healthy,
did you cut back your patch last year?
Yes.
Okay, so what you need to do with summer bearing berries, which is what you have, the cane comes up the first year and it doesn't fruit till the second year. So when you cut that patch back, all you have are a bunch of new what we call floricanes. They will fruit next year, but you're not going to get a lot of flowers this year. You can certainly fertilize, but resist the cutting back. You can only do that with the fall bearing berries, the ones that fruit in August.
Well, there you go.
Interesting.
Problem
Yeah,
solved.
Very interesting.
All right, Lisa, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for calling in. We'll do this again very soon.
Yeah, Lisa, that was great. Great questions tonight.
Yeah, they were.
All right, we'll be right back with the final check your forecast.